Hi, so nice to meet you. Both looking fabulous. Love the pink jacket. Looking lovely. Tell us a bit about what people can expect from The Old Oak and also a bit about your characters.
My character is Ziara. She's a Syrian refugee who her father was took by the Assad regime by not committing any crime, so she doesn't know anything about him. She lived with her mother and 3 siblings in a refugee camp where she studied English by volunteering with international nurses. Then she had a chance to come to UK with her family, but they put them in an ex-mining village where the village is suffering and the people there are victims. So it's about she meets TJ and about 2 communities, both are victims in their own ways, coming together and yeah.
Tell us a bit about TJ.
Yeah, he's a man who's at the end of his rope. Really, his life's gone in a really bad downward spiral. He sees no future, no optimism, and then the arrival of the Syrian families gives him some impetus and some point and hope to his life. So I hope, it's a film, with an underlying trend of hope and optimism, and I hope just people come and see it, and it's about 2 communities who share more than what separates them. So, it's about people coming together, sharing the same friendships, and I just hope that people really come and enjoy the film.
And there always seems such urgency to Ken Loach's work. He always tackles those subjects that perhaps other filmmakers don't want to touch. What is it that's so great about him as a director, and why did you want to work with him?
Because he's a great human being and he believes in people and in equality. So he talks about things that unprivileged people and communities. So this is the most important thing for me. And to do such art is really very inspiring.
I mean, the biggest thing about Ken is how humble he is. He's a very humble, but he's a driven man. He has anger. I mean, I first met him 9 years ago, and he's more angry now than he was then at inequality and injustice in society, and that's what drives him on. He's so interested and fascinated by people, and that's the driving force behind his work. But he's a humanitarian, he's a compassionate man, and he's a great man, and it's just an honour to spend time in his company.
It was, the writer was saying earlier, it was a really difficult film to make, and there are some difficult scenes. Was there a most challenging moment for you? And on the other side, a real highlight of shooting the film?
I mean, yeah, it is. It talks about Syrian refugees and they face racism. So it's really, really hard. There were some scenes that really were hard and triggering for the Syrian family, as they are non-actors. They are real-life Syrian refugees. So yeah, I think for me personally, the first and the last scene were the hardest. And the highlight, I think, the scene at the cathedral where my character talks about hope and about. Yeah, so I think this is it.
Yeah, I mean, there were some very hard scenes for both of us, but because of the way that Ken works, the crew create an atmosphere. You feel absolutely safe and protected. There's no sort of like fear, and he encourages you, and he creates an incredibly family feel. So there's 2 or 3 scenes which are incredibly difficult for me, but because of Ken and the crew, I mean, I was somehow able to get through them.
And as you said at the beginning, despite the difficult subject matter, there is this feeling of hope that runs through it. And it's not about sort of creating the villains and the good guys, but rather everybody a victim in their different way. So what do you hope people will take away? That sense of hope, that sense of community, and that we can kind of fight the divisive nature of our politics right now?
Well, I mean, all I hope that people take away from is they come and see a film which shows that we've got more in common than we have divides us. It's all about humanity, and it's about hope. It shows that 2 widely different communities can come together. We do have a lot in common, so please just look for the commonality in people and look for the humanity in people. Don't demonise people because they come from another part of the world that you don't understand. We're all human beings, and that's what I hope people take away from this. I genuinely hope it changes, not going to change the world, but it changes a few opinions and a few minds, and that's a good start.
I agree just with what he said. So, don't judge people just because they are different and feel threatened by them. Give it a chance, and you will figure out that we really have more in common. That we have differences, and we can celebrate our different culture like we did. So, I mean, yeah, we are humans on this planet. So, why hate and why racism?
Amazing, very well put. Thank you so much for your time and really enjoyed the premiere. Thank you so much. Cheers.